Greetings, perceptive readers. This is James Lynch, and welcome to this Perceptive Readers Moment. Over the past 12 hours or so, I thought about the world, the seasons, belief systems, all sorts of things that's going through a lot of people's minds today. And one of them still probably comes up in your mind at least once a day is, does it really matter? You see, what I believe about God. Well, this is what I am going to say. Your belief in God does affect the way that you move about in everyday life. Um, It affects your decisions. It affects even how you view people, how you will treat people overall. And so that's one reason why I say that, yes, when it comes to a loved one or family or a friend, it's probably very easy, you see, for you to look at yourself as a human being or even as a lesser one. And this is what I mean by that. In other words, you're willing to uh, even sacrifice your own comforts at times to make sure that that person gets what they need. Now, that doesn't mean that that person then takes advantage of you, especially when it's not even necessary. But that's a different story all the same. But see, that still gets into a person's belief in God. Because if someone does something nice for them, and according to their own believing that God is alive, God is love, and that God also has feelings, then the thought is going through their mind, this person has helped me out so many times. And yet, again, and it was needed. So you're not taking advantage of what that person was doing. But let's say that same person needs help. How would your relationship with God affect you then? At the very least, there may be some type of gift, support, or what have you, where it would be reciprocal. You would pay it right back, pay it forward, whatever term that you want to think about, in order to help that person. Am I correct in this? Yes. I told you about, even when it comes to love. I told you about communications, etc. All that factors in to really how you believe and view about God. There are actually some accounts that I've read even in the Bible that continues to show me that after God always really, you see what I'm saying, all clear throughout the Bible saying, this is just who I am as being holy. This is what I expect. This is what eventually you will be like. You will be like. But for today, for this time, there are other aspects of just you learning and growing about me. And I'm allowing a lot of it still to be done according to your conscience and your own power. See, remember, God could perform a miracle like that, but see, he doesn't always perform a miracle in those type of ways, you see, because it's just not necessary when we're dealing with love. I gave you that example in the beginning because it goes to show the way that you view about God, how a person's hearts are moved at times to help others, to even view themselves as a lesser one at times, you see, at the very least, to give what is needed. And how the person who even receives what is needed has such a gratitude for it, It doesn't mean they have to go run and do something in return, but at the very least, it moves them not to take advantage of that person who is sharing, who has shared good things with them. And if you want to remember an illustration that I gave on another podcast series some years back, remember it was called the Apples and Oranges series. The Apples and Oranges series, where an illustration really was given. Well, it was illustration, but this is something that has happened in many homes, and especially people who baked over the years. That goes to show you the spirit of what this apple pie, if you will, a gift, what it meant even among neighbors at times. So all the same, I want to really emphasize your view, your belief in God, what type of God or deity you believe in or worship. It affects the way that you view people and how you will even treat people, even treat persons who can't even do a thing for you at times. You see, whether it means you totally ignore that person, you see what I'm saying? Or whether you have almost like a famous figure people knows, a view of what Gandhi was talking about, a view of, let's just say Mother Teresa, let's say a view of many different faiths that have the name that they call upon, Jesus, Allah, Jehovah. See, and so forth. It actually determines on how you view or would treat those people, because some faiths, some gods will actually give you a different view from the one that actually made the 10 Commandments. You have a beautiful day, Perceptive Reader. Take care.